Good morning everyone, so it's Saturday and that can mean only one thing for Man Does Mounjaro in my new format. I'm going to be doing a Q&A session, so answering some of the questions you've asked me on previous videos, or doing my best to answer the questions that you've asked me. And there's going to be a weekly update. And this week, there's a little bit of a shock when it comes to my weekly update. But you'll have to stick around and see what that shock is in a little while.
Questions and answers.
So let's have a look at a few of the questions that have been asked. And the first one is from Mudhouse, and he basically says, I started last Thursday and I've lost £6. That seems a lot over the course of a week, approximately £1 a day. Now, when you first start, you're always going to lose weight quicker anyway. I know in my first week I lost an absolutely amazing £7. So what I will say is that will slow down as you carry on throughout your journey. And I've probably lost on average £2 a week. I wouldn't be too worried about when you first start and if you lose a huge amount of weight, because I think a lot of it is water from what I gather. But yeah, that's certainly not a worry. I think if you're carrying on losing £6-7 a week, then you're probably not eating enough calories. So the next one is from Philip Clayton, 7411, and he's basically struggling to hit his 1900 calorie target a day. And I feel this one because I have exactly the same issue. Since I started my Mounjaro journey, I have struggled every single day to get enough calories in. Now, how I do it is by making sure I track every single calorie I have. I use the PEP app, which is not only a shot tracking app, but a calorie tracking app as well. And I've got an affiliate link, and I'll leave that down in the description below. But yeah, to me, it's all about tracking your calories. It sounds like you're doing that anyway, Philip, because you know you're running a little bit short on calories. I tend to track them and then adjust them throughout the day if I feel I'm a little bit on the low side. And my other top tip would be meal replacement shakes. If you haven't got an appetite, you feel you can't eat anymore, the meal replacement shakes are fantastic for getting the calories in, and it is literally, as it says, a shake. So you're having a drink, it'll give you 200-300 calories. If you just need a top up to make sure you're hitting your target of 1900 calories, they're a perfect way to do it. But track it throughout the day, adjust it as necessary, and I'm sure you'll start hitting your targets better. So the next question is from Sharon Haberly, and she basically says, has Mounjaro weight loss medications stopped any addictions for you? Well, I did mention in my previous video about some of the hidden benefits that I think these weight loss medications have. It's certainly my addiction to food, whilst I'm taking the medication, has stopped. So I guess that's a given. I was a massive chocoholic before I started this as well. And I don't really eat a lot of chocolate now, so I think that would probably be one. I sort of touched on smoking in my last video before as well. I do vape, and used to have the occasional cigarette. I've got no interest in smoking anymore. So I think the two for me would be chocolate and smoking. Had one from someone called Dusty X, I think that's how you say it. Apologies if I've got that wrong. And basically asking how long have I taken to lose this much weight on Mounjaro, and am I still taking it? Yes, I am still taking it. I'm on 3.75 milligrams of Mounjaro injected every week. And I'm nearly 5 months into my journey now, and I am 62 pounds down. I've got no plans to stop just yet. I haven't set a go weight, but I'm kind of doing it by how I feel and how I look. But I'd imagine I've probably got another 2 months left before I hit where I want to be. I've got no plans on stopping just yet anyway. So Tracy J 4279 asked a question about her teeth. I'm not a medical professional. I'm just a little chubby YouTuber on a Mounjaro journey. But I did do some research on this for you, Tracy, and it's a tricky one because I'm not really seeing a lot of these issues. Like you mentioned in your message, it does say about people with nausea who unfortunately been sick a lot, having teeth sensitivity issues. But it does say that a dry mouth is a side effect of taking these weight loss medications. It's not something I've come across, and you're the first person to mention it. And I'll be honest, I've probably done the same research as you, and I can't see anything sort of concerning the issues you're experiencing with your sore teeth. So it might be one you go to your GP or your supplier about, and they may have to change your medication, I'm thinking. But it's a great question. If anybody's got any answers to that one, just stick it in the comments down below for Tracy, because I'm sure she would appreciate it. There was one more, but I can't find the screenshot I took of it, so I do apologise if this question was from you. And it was basically saying about the cost of the doses for Mounjaro in the UK, and whether that is for 1 month or per dose. So whenever I talk about costs, it generally means for a month's worth of supply. So if you're paying 200 quid for say a 5mg pen, that basically works out at £50 per shot. So like I say, whenever I mention prices, it means per month, not per shot. Just want to mention as well, I have got an affiliate code for the company I use, which is called Zava, and I'll leave a link for that down in the description as well, and you will get money off your first purchase of weight loss medication from Zava. And you can only use that one if you haven't used it before as well, but really useful if you're starting this journey and you want to save a little bit of money, and I will pop that down below. I do have a habit of answering the questions in the comments down below when I really should be saving them for Q&A, but like I said on a previous video, I am going to do a Q&A every Saturday, but I can only do that if you give me the questions. So if you've got any questions, stick them in the comments down below. I'd just like to say thanks everyone for watching, and don't forget to like, hype, subscribe, comment, stick the bell on, and support Manda's Mounjaro.
Weekly update.
So I mentioned there was going to be a big shock on my weekly update this week. So my Mounjaro doses is exactly the same as normal, still on 3.75. Not gone down the Wegovy road yet, and I've not increased my dose beyond 3.75 for my entire journey. Whether that's right or whether that's wrong, personal choice, isn't it? But I was always going to stay as low as possible, and that's what I've done. So here it is. I started the week £64 down on my entire Mounjaro journey, and I ended the week £62 down. So I'll let you do the maths, but I put on £2. Now, it's the first time I've put on weight since I started taking Mounjaro, and I'll be honest with you, I wasn't entirely shocked by this. Now, I had quite a bit going on last week, and I knew it was going to be a tricky week. So essentially, my eldest son got married at the weekend, and it was a fantastic day and a fantastic evening. But what it did mean was I ate loads. I ate tons and tons of food. There was a full 3-course meal, which was absolutely amazing. And there was a buffet in the evening. And despite taking Mounjaro, I made a real pig of myself. So it just goes to show it is possible. So my son's wedding was on the Saturday, and the Sunday we woke up in a hotel to a lovely cooked breakfast, like a full English breakfast of sausages, eggs, hash browns, tomatoes, all the full works, absolutely amazing. And then on the Monday I had to go up to London because I was on a training course in London, staying in a hotel, and we know what that means, don't we? That means a 3-course meal and fried breakfast again. So I knew when I weighed on the Wednesday that it wasn't going to be a great weigh-in, and it proved to be the case. But that's not to say I'm disappointed. I was fully expecting this, so we carry on and we continue our journey to lose weight, and maybe with the realisation that there are going to be blips, there are going to be ups and there are going to be downs. I've seen a few comments on my videos where people have said they've been taking this for a few months now and they've barely lost any weight. So if I end the week £62 down instead of £64 or 66 as I would have expected, on average losing £2 a week, not the end of the world, is it, I suppose? So that's my weekly update. Essentially, I put on weight. So maybe a little bit of what we do when we're taking Mounjaro and losing weight is up here. But I knew I was going to enjoy the day, and I made sure I enjoyed the day, and I ate loads and I drank loads. But the outcome is I put on £2. Just like to say, if you've got any questions for next Saturday's Q&A, leave them down below in the comments, and I'll try my hardest not to answer them on the feed. But we'll try and get them into the video for next Saturday. If you could stick a little Q&A next to the question, then I'll remember not to answer it on the feed, although I will acknowledge that you've asked the question because I do appreciate every single comment. And don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel because I've got lots of fantastic ideas for videos as we continue our journey on Man Does Mounjaro.